Good day, everyone. I'm going to discuss teaching over technology amidst pandemic. I am Dr. Maria Victoria Castillo Magayon, formator, research enthusiast, research teacher, curriculum specialist, writer. I am from the Philippines. My outline is rationale, theoretical framework, significant statement, and summary. I start with this statement. This crisis has created an unprecedented context that has brought to the fore teachers' leadership, creatively and innovation, globally in context ranging from places where teachers and learners have no computers or internet access, to others where online learning took a great leap forward. Teachers have worked individually and collectively to find solutions and create new learning environments for their students to ensure that learning never stops. Another, teachers are facing formidable challenges, whether educating students in masked up, socially distant classrooms, or virtually from computer screens. Also, in many contexts, technology provides learning continuity when students cannot be physically present in their classroom. However, there are many barriers to successful remote and online learning driven by technology, including teacher preparedness, access to online resources and devices, and student support in the home. That is according to the Brodsky 2020. I use the textual analysis in gathering my sources and significant statement. Textual analysis is a methodology that involves understanding language, symbols, and or pictures present in text to gain information regarding how people make sense of and communicate life and life experiences. Visual, written, or spoken messages provide cues to ways through which communication may be understood. That is according to Allen 2017. Now, my discussion is anchored on the principle of industrial revolution and technology adaptation. As you can see in the figure, in the illustration, that nowadays we are now in our 5th industrial revolution. That signify that it should be a responsive 21st century, where in favoring innovation, drawing humans and machine together. So as figure presented, perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use are required for the education sector to form attitude toward technology adoption and serve as precursor to behavioral intentions, which determines whether the sector will embrace and accept industrial revolution, although perceived ease of use is a causal determinant of present usefulness. Okay, so to profile teachers nowadays, we have 2 types of teachers. We have the digital natives and the digital immigrants. Digital natives are those ages from 45 and below, and digital immigrants are those 45 and above years old. And these are their characteristics. The digital natives are receive information read really fast, like within seconds. Parallel process information and multitasking is can be done. Prefer to see graphic before the text, and prefer random access to resources, like using hyperlink. Function best when network. thrive on instant gratification and frequent rewards, and then prefer games to serious work. While the digital immigrants is somewhat opposite, or there is a demarcation of difference. Digital immigrants prefer a controlled release of information from a limited source, prefer single or focused tasks, often prefer to get information from text, prefer information to be presented linearly, logically, and sequentially, have a greater need for private and personal space for introspection. As you can see, there are two types of teachers nowadays during the pandemic: the digital natives and digital immigrants, of which as per fifth industrial revolution, as teacher, we should be equipped with the machines application, merge it, use it, apply it in your learning or in your teaching learning process. Also, this is the illustration of the TAM, Technology Adaptation Model, of which it is categorized, or there is a perceived usefulness, external variables, perceived ease of use, attitude toward the use of the technology, then actual usage or intention of use. Okay, so these are the factors that we need to consider or reflect what are our intention in using, applying, and adapting the technology nowadays. Okay, the question is, are teachers coping on the demand of the e-learning amidst pandemic? According to Howard, some of the most widely used distance learning teaching tools include video conferencing platforms such as WebEx, Google Meets, and Zoom. Content management systems such as Google Classroom, learning management system such as Moodle, Canvas, and Blackboard, and applications that support collaboration such as Microsoft Teams, Slack, and Padlet. As we can see in this significant statement that there are already available, ready for to use for the e-learning platform. Another significant that I would like to share is most school system discovered that it wasn't easy to go virtual. A lack of teachers training, accessible tools, and preparation time made to launch the remote learning are flawed and rushed. So, as you can see, even though there are available, we are already in the fifth revolution. Teachers, not all teachers are equipped already for the for integration of technology in the learning of our students. Popular technology-mediated form of education such as TED Talks, MOOCs, and the numerous professional and amateur instructional video on YouTube are all staged in traditional way, with someone talking and explaining so that others can watch, listen, and learn. As you can see in this significant statement or source, not all teachers, not all available materials are compliant of the fifth industrial revolution. Why? because it is stated the quality of the tutorial videos are still delivered in a traditional way. It is not more on interactive, of which the description of the fifth industrial revolution, the materials, the online learning or online materials, learning materials should be. No, you need to engage. You need to meet the machine and the learner. So the interaction should be in that online learning materials. That is according to BIESTA 2019. Now, but we can see that stakeholders, as shown in this significant source, education technology investors do not plan to slow down. However, to deal with it better, the schools as well as the individual staff also have to be updated with the latest developments. Teachers need to be prepared to ensure that online learning can continue through another crisis. Before, we did not allow our students to use cell phone inside the classroom. But nowadays, because of the pandemic, so we are forced, we are, even though we are not ready, teachers and students, we are forced, we need to adapt. Hence, in this significant source, cell phone, computer now is the solution. So another solution is to harness their technology savvy and engage students with online tools that will help them complete assignments while still engaging them electronically. Whether they are working on a research essay, presentation, science project, or a math report, there are ample tools available to make the process more engaging for students. Okay, so that is according to the source. So what should the teachers do in order to solve problem in terms of engagement of students in the e-learning or online learning? First, there are applications that also engage students in the digital classes that faculty members must be creative to grab the attention of the students. Nowadays, as per in the source, easy distractibility is one of the main drawbacks of e-learning in the Philippines, because I am teaching in public school, and one of our challenges is the capability of the students to have the stable internet. Only few students have subscribed to a stable internet. Most of them are using the prepaid. They subscribe via prepaid, or they need to buy loads to have internet. But because of the lack of resources, some of our students cannot engage or cannot attend online classes. So to minimize the damage, we tend to not open the camera so that their data or the internet data they have can be prolonged, or you can use it in a longer time. So we are not aware really if the students is listening or what he or she is doing while we have this discussion in our online classes. So this is the suggestion. There are applications, there are systems that there are programs that the teachers can use in order to uh, make the student engage in the online classes, whether it is synchronous or asynchronous. Synchronous means during online class, and then asynchronous means via Google Classroom. You can post assignments, project using this interactive program and application. Okay. So in my analysis, what I see is a model. If we conclude what is the voices behind those significant statements, I can see one theme, and that is adaptation of teachers. Adaptation of teachers in terms of usage, integration, and development of uh, technology-driven learning materials. So I use this model. This is based from the UNESCO. This is their findings on what is going on now in terms of technology adaptation level. Based on my text analysis and from other sources, I would like to summarize, or I would like to point out after those information. As teachers, it is really pushing us to think of what are the different ways we could have students demonstrate what they know. So meaning, based on the adapt level, showcase his best, or to effective enough so that students can render what is the required competencies in their course. Okay, so this slide is our own research. This is localized research in our school. It is an exploratory study on technology adaptation of teachers and students under learning continuity plan, an input for learning accommodation and instructional modification. Okay, this is in relation to my previous slide, which we need to push ourselves, no? So one of the appropriate action is profiling or database. Profiling through database. So scientifically, we need to get information to what extent our student will be engaged in the learning during pandemic time or remote learning. So in our study, it shows that teachers actually are familiar, utilizes, and some of our teachers have already a YouTube channel. I myself have a YouTube channel. And then they are using various programs such as Padlet, Kahoot, etc., Google Form, Quizlet. So in our situation, in our context, I would say that we can say that partly we are in the fifth industrial revolution. We are utilizing and we are already in the innovation stage, or transforming, no, from regular users to a developer. Okay, so what are the factors are significant in terms of technology adaptation. So in our study, AIDS is number one, very significant. You see the principle of digital natives and the principle of digital immigrants. Now, the generation, like Generation Alpha, Generation X, baby boomers, is really significant in terms of technology adaptation. So I would like to end my discussion on this statement. This is from Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. And how we can do that? This is according to Dr. Walker. Mindfulness can be used anytime we need and refocus our attention or reset our thought, which will restore the balance and assist us in handling the situation at hand.